Watch With Us, everybody. I'm here with
Dave.
And of course me, Harry. More Star Trek. We've been talking about this old shit. I got that on replay apparently. Turn the speakers off. But yeah, we're finally a good episode, in my opinion. As much as I've been trashing it over the last year and a half till we get here. But season 2 has been rough so far. So this is technically a good episode comparatively to the last two. But
well, just the fact that we talk about it
yes,
from in other episodes.
And it's a classic episode.
If you refer to it.
If you know TNG, you know the Sherlock episodes. Yeah. The Moriarty episodes are a staple of the first couple seasons because they're highlights. Definitely. And it has a lot to do with Moriarty. He's a fucking great character actor, and he nails this. He steals
it's
the show.
intense that you think that this is like a one-off episode the first time, when you see it as you go through, and then you see recurring times.
Well, it ends. It ends in such a way that you're like, yeah, they're never gonna talk about that ever again.
Yeah, exactly.
And that happens in a lot of Star Trek episodes. It's like a huge big deal, and then they're just like, oh, wrapped up in a tiny bow at the end, and they never discuss it ever again. But they actually bring this back because.
Really, you can write anything you want.
Well, yeah, and Moriarty was so awesome. I'm sure there was a fan outpour. They were like, bring Moriarty back. He was awesome. It's like Q. He's probably just as famous as Q or infamous as Q as a bad guy. Like, people loved Moriarty.
I wonder if he goes to conventions.
Well, what I was going to say is, it's also a testament to Data, what's his name?
Brett Spiner.
Brett Spiner's acting, because when I think of Sherlock Holmes... Like, he's top 3 actors. Like, I think of Brett Spiner as,
like,
when I picture him in my head.
An ode to a character in the science fiction franchise.
Like, if I'm picturing Sherlock Holmes and what's his name, Dr. Watson in my head, majority of the time it's Brett Spiner playing in my mind's eye kind of thing. And that's to do with these, 3 episodes where he actually puts the suit on? Like,
well, I guess the thing is, though, is you missed the whole drug addict aspect of the things. It was cleaned up. Yeah,
because they don't need to talk about that.
Because that's a pretty awesome part of the Sherlock Holmes story, really.
It is my favorite part of his character, and they don't discuss it. But just visually, I picture Brett Spiner. And it's probably the sets, too. Because they don't really... A lot of the times they do, like, TOS-style sets. Just, like, rocks and shitty trees in the background with a purple sky or whatever. They build fucking turn-of-the-century London. Like, on a soundstage, but it looks real. Like, they have good costumes. Like, this is where Star Trek wins its Emmys and shit. Like, they actually produce the hell out of these episodes with costume design, fucking set design, all that shit. Like, Moriarty's lair looks awesome. From my memory, anyway. Like, I love that stuff. And it has to be a fan favorite. Because, again, they bring him back. Like, he's the only one of the villains that comes back, other than maybe that Romulan, and of course Q. Q comes back constantly. He transcends to other goddamn episodes. Yeah. Other series. He's in Voyager a lot, and he's in the DS9 at least once.
Yeah, they used him pretty effectively in Voyager.
I would say some of his best Q performances are in Voyager.
Yeah.
They're like the highlight of that series is when Q comes in, I think. But yeah, alright, let's get the timer started. Here.
I think that's one. Resize that.
Boom. That's a little delayed, so we'll just eyeball that. Hopefully it'll be right. Okay, so we're starting episode... Oh, shit. There we go. We're live.
Now plus 10 shit.
Ish. Sure, we're about there. The timer's a little fucked up, but...
It's just a pacing timer now.
Yeah. Ooh, classic start with...
engineering?
Yeah. Oh, I recognize her. She's from stuff.
Oh, yeah. Discovering his humanity.
Oh, what a bitch. Like she knows that's gonna be funny and carried over for a normal person, but she knows that's just gonna confuse Data. Like she's just screwing with him at this point. Like
it's like fake throwing a dog.
Could you imagine doing something like this for another person, like as a gift? Like you're gonna gift somebody thousands of your hours.
That's the kind of person that if you betray them, they will kill you.
Yeah. I made you that ship. And you do this to me.
Do you have any idea how many hours I put in that?
That's crazy level of like stalker gift. Like,
you see, this person likes Ritalin. What is Ritalin, Jordy?
God, could you imagine like the Hunter S. Thompson hypo spray collection you'd have? Like if you lived in Star Trek universe.
I need to do this.
One for the morning.
Oh, one of these, yeah.
One for the afternoon. You don't know what 221 B Baker Street is? It's only 200 years in the future.
Yeah.
Sherlock Holmes is still prevalent, guaranteed.
Well, 2 years from now.
Yeah, but World War II happens in like 20 years. Basically, all creativity fucking ends there. As soon as World War III happens, the Star Trek universe creates no more original art. Creativity just dies because we're trying to save the species. Like, everybody's geared towards that.
That's why paintings. No, I'm trying to get bags.
Yeah,
I need bags right now.
That's why they're still obsessed with the like noir and like the 20th century, the 1920s, 1930s, because in the 21st century nobody created shit worth remembering. And a lot of it's probably lost in like the EMP pulses that happened after World War III. Everything that was strictly on data. The only thing that survived was stuff that was in papers, like on book form, like in libraries and shit.
I guess you still have some, but it would be very, very few, very few.
And it'd be like corrupt data and shit. Like, they probably didn't even recover that shit. They probably went immediately to like crystallized fucking memory systems or something.
Yeah. That
like doesn't even require that kind of RAM or is impervious to EMP pulses. So there'd be no reason to recover any of that data.
The tragic word of obsolete.
Exactly. There's fucking 40 years of culture that's all on digital that they'd never recover after World War III. And this is all conjecture. There's no basis.
It's like the burning of the library at Alexandria again.
Exactly.
You're like, this is the first time it happened.
Like, they found, like, hard drives at the bottom of the Twin Towers that they recovered. They could technically do it, but they just didn't. Because why would you?
Yeah.
You're trying to survive nuclear holocaust. Like, who cares about the last season of fucking Daredevil?
What was Supergirl?
Yeah. That's one thing that Star Trek never talks about. Comic books. It was like, I guess Voyager and DS9 were all like X-Men, like before the comic book renaissance of the 2000s, right? When did Voyager end? 2000s or 90s?
2000s, yeah, for sure.
Like 2002?
I guess
before we graduated, it was over, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so
I've been in a world without Star Trek for a long time.
Yeah, the comic book renaissance started though with X-Men, and I'm pretty sure X-Men was 99 or 2001. Might have been 2001. So I guess they just didn't get a chance to reference Superman or Batman or anything. Because I could say 100% that there was never a reference to comic books. Maybe Paris, because he does reference like weird stuff like Flash Gordon and shit, but that's all Warner Brothers properties. I'm pretty sure that's deliberate. So why not? Warner Brothers owns Batman, right?
Now they do, yeah.
Well, maybe at the time they didn't.
Yeah.
No, they had to have because they were making the comic or the cartoon. Okay. It's a Warner Brothers cartoon. So it really shocks me that they don't mention Batman.
Unless they licensed it first, then bought it after.
Maybe they only got the rights to make a cartoon and they couldn't do anything else with it. The '89 Batman, that's not Warner Brothers movie, right?
Because the whole point of a trademark is to sell it
and make money off of it.
Yeah, this episode's kind of fun, man. Definitely not what you were expected to see, though, when you fucking tuned in that week.
Yeah.
The first time around.
Like, just a fireplace at all. Like, seeing an aged fireplace on Star Trek, like, that's a new thing, probably.
Well, no, fucking original series, the old-timey castle with fucking, the spoiled...
Yeah, but again, those sets are so shitty, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Like, this is stunning. Like, for Star Trek standards?
Yeah, well, I guess they also weren't filming on other shows' sets at this point. They got their own sets.
Yeah. Yeah, TOS is just a revolving door of sets for all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
Oh, Lestrade. What, you're taking... You've never... Is he is he a Sherlock Holmes virgin too? The Forge? This is all Data's thing? Data likes fucking Sherlock?
Jordan didn't like reading any more past into history than he had to.
No wonder he doesn't get
it got kind of upsetting at roots.
Yeah. I guess that's how he got the show, right?
He read back into 1980 and it was like, nope. That's good for me. It just gets worse. Okay, that's all I need to know.
Well, that's what also makes Cisco so awesome. Like, he refuses to go to the Vegas, 1920s Vegas.
Yeah.
Because he's like, they just literally whitewash history, and like, they don't even talk about how our people were not treated well in Vegas in 1920. And that's a great moment for Star Trek. Like, exactly. When he has that speech, you're like, yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, we can't just, forget it. And then he goes anyway, which is complete bullshit. But it's a good topic for Star Trek to tackle. Like, we can't forget history or fucking pretty it up for entertainment's sake. And then we'll just go ahead and pretty it up for entertainment's sake anyway. Which is, the kind of bullshit hypocrisy Star Trek does a lot in post-TNG era. They want their cake and they want to eat it too.
Yeah.
They want to have a salient point, but they don't want to get too edgy.
Yeah, exactly. But it's got to be for the family.
Yeah. They don't want to piss people off.
At least modern sci-fi is a bit edgy that way. Like, you look at shit like Westworld, where they're like, we're going to question the line of humanity. Or the borders of humanity.
Yeah, but at this point you're expected to fucking be edgy.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't be able to get away with, like, a wholesome Star Trek anymore. Like, you gotta go Game of Thrones fucking bullshit with it. Which is why, in my humble opinion, fucking STD's doomed to fail.
Yeah. If they try to make it fucking G.
Yeah, Star Trek Discovery. No, they're not. They're gonna try to make it Game of Thrones, and Star Trek isn't Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
It should be G. It should be, like, talking about societal points.
If they make a series that's like the fucking movies where there's a villain, you're just like, fuck, you missed the point.
That's what I mean. Yeah. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna try to go Westworld, Game of Thrones on it, and that's not Star Trek's world. That's not Star Trek's wheelhouse.
The whole point is it's fucking.
Lovey-dovey.
Problems are ambiguous.
It's the fantasy future of utopia, and that's the major flaw of DS9. It's what makes DS9 great and edgy for its time. Like, they go to war and they make mistakes, and the Federation isn't perfect. Blah 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 blah.
But they have an ideal.
But that's and they fucking break that ideal and step over the line way too often in DS9, in my opinion. But that's not what Star Trek is. Star Trek is the ideal future. When we watch Star Trek, we should be like, yeah, that's the best we can be.
Yeah.
Like, we are Picard. Like, that's our high point. Like, our high watermark is we all should be Picard. And that's what Star Trek is. That's our society should be Federation, and that's what you should be seeing on screen, not a failed, gray area. Good like DS9 makes the Federation look like wussies, like just we don't want to fight and we're pacifists. No, it's hard not to fight. It's hard to fucking make friends with fucking monsters. Like that's the harder part. It's the harder to convince the monster to be less of a monster, because we're all fucking equal. Like that's the hard path. And
yeah, like you
no, just kill them, just blow them up. Just don't try to use words. Don't try to use diplomacy to convince this evil prick that he's an evil prick, and maybe fucking save lives that way. No, we'll just fire torpedoes at him, and then wonder why everybody hates us. I guess that's a good political point for the times too. Kind of just torpedoed my own argument
especially
there.
when you can overpower most other races.
Yeah, it's real easy to ride a high horse when everybody else is
like. I get the Klingons fucking gripe with the Federation.
Yeah,
you're out of fucking.
You're surrounded.
Yeah,
you're surrounded by a bunch of hostile aliens that have the exact opposite ideology to you. That make you look bad all the time because they're doing the right thing and you know it.
Yeah,
you know, like imperial assholes deep down know they're not the master race because you're surrounded by the Federation. They've been better than you. As soon as you meet the Federation, you know you're screwed. So it's all just bravado and a pissing contest at that point.
The forms will never stop coming.
I think in the beginning of this season, or at least in season 1, remember they didn't want to do the Klingons again. They wanted to do the Ferengi. That was supposed to be the new big bad. And that failed utterly, so they brought back the Klingons anyway. I think the original idea was the Klingons were part of the Federation. They had lost and joined. That's why Worf was there. He didn't have some bullshit orphan story where the Federation's like saved him.
Yeah,
he just was on Klingon.
Yeah, it was that
Kronos,
friendly.
Kronos is a fucking Federation planet. Yeah, so there is no IDF. There is no Klingon war machine anymore. The Klingons join the Federation if they want to be in the military. That's what I assumed anyway. And then the Ferengi failed so utterly that they had to bring the Klingons back as the main bad.
Yeah,
and then they brought in the Romulans. Again, they took the safe road. They were like, "Oh, we failed with the Ferengi, so instead of fixing the Ferengi, we're gonna just go back to the old faithful Klingons." What a party pooper!
And so,
Pulaski
is the holodeck indulging his fucking fantasy right now?
It is. It is adult. That's what it does. It's a fantasy world with artificial intelligence. The computer's hooked up to this thing. It knows what the people inside want, so it's like on the fly adapting.
That's fucking lame.
Of course. It's like the safest experience ever. Like, of course you're gonna get the best.
Goddamn Federation.
Yeah. And then, do you remember that Voyager episode when B'Elanna turns off the fucking safeties?
Yeah.
Because she's
and they're like, oh no!
Yeah, because she's living. Like, she's actually having an experience.
Yeah, it's called consequences.
Yeah. Even though the whole concept of turning off the safeties in a artificial environment is just laughable. Like, what are you talking about? Like, can't hurt you.
Yeah.
Why would the computer kill you? Like, why would it even have the ability to do that? And that's
is there a guard for that? Oh no, you just don't put that in.
That's another flip-flop on the logic. First, these are actual physical objects that the computer is replicating and transporting into position.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, no, it's lights. It's all fucking holographic, hard light, and like it's all projection from the eyes. But that hard light can be bullets that go into you and kill you. Then why isn't it just replicated matter? Like, why do you have to be light projection? Like, why even bring light projection into it? It's an actual thing. Like,
maybe like
they just keep on flip-flopping back and forth in the logic. Every goddamn time they talk about it.
Or it's like some combination of like it's a combination of
eventually
and fucking.
But I don't even think they talk about
replicator.
It. They never bring up again that these are actual physical objects that the replicator.
And that's why these things are such a pain in the ass because you're trying to make like a microwave and an oven in one.
Yeah, and you've just created dozens of robots, right? If this is physical objects that the fucking the computer's replicating, these are robots covered in skin. These are Westworld.
Replicate people.
Yeah, this isn't according to the internal logic of Star Trek right now. These aren't light projected people. This is Westworld style people.
Every holodeck character is extremely frustrating now.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's so frustrating. And they screwed up at the very beginning because in that detective agency one, the first one with Crusher, has that one happened yet?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay. But those bad guys walk out I think that one's happened. I think we've watched that episode. I don't know. Anyway, during that episode, 2 of the characters walk off the holodeck and they disappear.
Yeah.
Because the projectors aren't there. That shouldn't work. They're fucking replicated. They're actual things. They should be able to walk off the holodeck. They're physical objects.
Or else guns don't work. Take your pick.
Yes, exactly. You can't have it both ways. The logic does not make sense. And I guess that's why this episode is so good, because this is what would happen. Like, this is an actual being they're creating and giving life to.
Apparently. I guess maybe the clause is, I brought your ass into this world, I can take your ass out.
Yeah.
Ooh, straight out of her shoes.
God, those weren't tied up correctly at all. It would seem like those would be hard to rip out of. See? That's another flaw. You know there's no danger. She's been abducted. Yeah, but like the computer can't hurt her until you fucked it up here. Like it's like the ultimate padded room fantasy. Like and this is exclusively a deep space starship thing. Like starbases, well, I guess maybe starbases have them if they're remote, but like planets don't have these things because you can just go outside and do whatever you want, right? At this time, initially,
yeah.
Like this is for like, oh, you're going to be on a starship for 7 years, so you're going to get holidays. Yeah.
Well, I guess in normal life, people would probably also see the shallowness of it all.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, it's all right, but
well, because the average Federation citizen is an enlightened being.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'd rather go outside and paint the trees.
Exactly. They're above this kind of shit.
Or, it's like a phase you go through.
That's why the actual holodeck isn't covered in semen. The real world holodeck.
It gets old.
Would be. But in the perfect world.
No. When you gave people who never had a holodeck, they will go ape.
Yes, exactly.
So the first holodeck's very sticky.
Oh yeah, you didn't watch Enterprise, eh?
No.
They have a holodeck episode that.
They had holodecks in that. Fuck.
They meet an alien species that has one, but it's not a room. It's like a ball the girl takes out, and they sit down, and then she just hits a button, and the ball, like, projects a kind of different world.
Okay, so it's like a VR thing.
Yeah, and the 2 people in the vicinity can see this different world. They're sitting down on a bench, and then she hits the button, and they're in a canoe on a lake on a planet somewhere. But it totally again ruins the. Oh, humanity.
Life's supposed to be harder this time.
Well, and humanity created such a great thing.
Yeah.
No, they just stole it from some alien race that they met 100 years ago. That was better than them. And it was all wrapped up in an episode where one of the main male characters got pregnant from an alien race.
Oh, yeah. Again.
So stupid. A male character with a belly. Alien baby.
If a dog can't get you pregnant, an alien definitely can't.
Yeah.
If You can't
They
have
have
dog
some-
puppies?
They have some Star Trek
Or-
answer for that too.
Baby puppies?
Oh yeah, there's another holodeck episode. The season finale, series finale of the entire show, is Jonathan Frakes as Riker and whatever the girl's name, Diana Troy, in a holodeck, playing through a story of the last voyage of the Enterprise.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
It's intercut in the off-camera shots of the Pegasus episode. Riker's
Oh, what?
Yeah, Riker's 30 years older, and it's supposed to take place during the Pegasus episode.
You mean that's the one at the ends with the Federation thing with Riker standing there, right?
No,
Or
there's
the
the one,
different episode.
the one where he's captain. They talk about the cloaked ship,
Okay. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
cloaked trans
Yeah.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah, I remember Pegasus.
he's apparently during that episode he went and told Diana about the whole thing, and he asked her for his advice, and Diana said, "You should go play on the holodeck and play this fucking episode of Enterprise from the first Enterprise, and it's about like leadership and like doing the right thing and blah 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 blah." So he goes and he's a character in the last episode of a story of Enterprise, and the story is Captain Archer's on his way to give a speech at the first meeting of the Federation Council. It's all started.
See, that's where I guess they started saving the show. You know what I mean? Like
Yes,
they
this is
started,
the last season. They really did well, but they were already sunk.
Yeah,
They couldn't do
exactly.
it. But the last season was really good, and this was setting up the Federation. The last season set up the very first Federation Council, basically.
Yeah. See, that's
And-
why like I get upset at people who don't support the fucking old writers for the new show, like the original writers for the new show, because it's like
Well,
you can't forget that this fucking studios handed them a hot plate of shit
Yes,
to clean up,
and that's exactly what happened. This last season,
and they did it, and then they got canceled.
all the people from TNG came
Yeah.
and saved Enterprise the last season and wrote like really good episodes. But this episode was atrocious because Jonathan Frakes is sitting in the background the whole time of this really serious last episode of these characters, and you're just half the time you're focusing on Jonathan Frakes. Like, we want to see, this is the last episode of Archer.
Yeah.
We want to see these guys.
Yeah,
like
that's
the
the
last
story
thing.
you're here to watch. Yeah.
And it's a fantasy. It's not even the true
Yeah.
telling
Then you're
because
like,
it's on a
the whole,
holodeck.
why did I even watch this?
It's like watching. It's like what you're like. Oh, well, is that really the way it happened? Is it not? Like, and it kind of like plays like this is a true story. But why would it be a true story? It's on the holodeck.
So none of it happened.
Apparently, like, you could go either way. Like you could be like, oh, it happened in some form that way.
See, that justifies my fucking. I don't consider that as a real thing.
And they kill off the
Stance
main
on it.
character too.
Yeah.
So they kill off a main character in a fantasy. Spoilers for fucking Enterprise. Sorry.
Yeah.
But they kill off a main character, and everybody's like, what? So did he die? Really? Is that how he died? Like, why would you do that in a fantasy flashback with Jonathan Frakes at the start? It was such an insult to this whole series. It was just like, we have to show the Enterprise. But yeah, those are the only 2 holodeck episodes in Enterprise, I think. Again, this stands out. This Moriarty experiment room.
Yeah, it's super fucking cool. Or like the shit in a bottle episode.
Like, this just burned into my memory, this whole set. It's awesome. Such a great evil layer.
Well, and that's the flip side of you didn't tune in to watch something like this, but you got it.
Yeah.
It's not what you were expecting, but it doesn't mean it's bad.
And I'm sure there's a large majority of the people that were like, fuck, we want to watch Star Trek. Like, we want to watch
Not fucking
spaceships
this
and
dumb shit.
lasers. Like, what's with this Sherlock Holmes garbage?
Not even one warp core bridge. Pushes up glasses.
Pushes up glass. Yeah, this guy plays in, I think he's in Hunt for October. He's like a guy next to the guy in a lot of great shit. I'm pretty sure he's one of the officers on the Red October. Oh no, he's not a Russian, I think. I think he's one of the officers on one of the ships that Jack Ryan ends up on before he ends up on the submarine. That's a good movie. We should watch fucking Hunt for October.
I don't see why not.
It's a great movie. I could talk over that shit. Seen that a billion times.
Excuse me, sir. Have you been doing any stimulants lately?
Well, it's weird that like the holodeck and the computer just created this like sentient life, and data is such a big deal.
Is like, does that mean your computing power is like you don't know?
Exactly. Yeah. Like it's like how much computing power do we have? Infinite.
I asked it to make a person and it did.
Instantly, like
That's
without even the lights dimming.
I can't think of anything smarter than that. I don't know. You fucking ask it.
And we were like flying at warp 7 at the time while doing like a diagnostic and a bunch of other shit. I think there was a surgery going on. The computer was like not even at half capacity.
There was like a whole generation of computer scientists that died because they didn't want this kind of computing power getting out.
Yeah.
The Federation killed them all.
Yeah.
They
killed themselves.
We want
like, no one
starships.
should have this power. No. As soon as they figured it out, they're like, no one should have this power. They burnt their notes and killed themselves.
Yeah. They're like, no, we need fleets of starships. But you don't understand. It might mix with fucking flesh and blood and make Borg or something.
Data would know, right? Like, Moriarty is Sherlock Holmes' equal. And if they've created an equal for Data, the only way he can beat him is to die. Like, that is the whole point of Moriarty and Sherlock Holmes. Like, Sherlock Holmes has to sacrifice himself to
Yeah,
beat
that's going to
Moriarty.
be the trick of the game. Like,
Yeah. That's how Moriarty loses, because he thinks Sherlock Holmes won't do that. He's like, I'll always win because you won't go that as far as I will. And then Sherlock Holmes go, well, really?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going over the
It's
falls.
playing chicken, yeah.
Yeah, and they fucking they go over the fucking cliff and they both die. And then they drove dump trucks full of money up to Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's house, and he was like, "All right, I'll write some more books.
Exactly.
I'll write a few more." They survive.
I think I might be able to come up with something here.
Yeah. So again, this is a war game scenario. Okay, only way to win is not to play.
Yeah. Data's like, or walks over to the panel, unplugs the fucking thing.
Or if this is a goddamn replicated being, he walks over and rips Moriarty's head off.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a real person.
I have
right?
dealt with it, Data. Or Jordy. Holy shit, Data. You can't just do that.
Whoever designed this computer is dropping the ball left, right, center on these commands. Like the computer, are you sure you want me to do this? Like, please click yes. Are you
I don't
sure?
need your
Like,
reading Rainbow moral lecture about fucking right and wrong right now, Data.
or Jordy.
Ah! Englishman saying a French word. Pretending to be a Frenchman.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's a Frenchman here.
Could you imagine how annoying the show would be if they actually had a Frenchman, though?
Oh,
You
yeah,
have
totally.
to make an Englishman.
Yeah,
I don't even
totally.
know why the fuck they wrote him as a Frenchman.
I really
It
don't
would
know
be
either.
too waspy. Like,
I think it was more like who do you make the diplomat?
'cause
The
it's
guys
like,
who lose at war all the
Yeah.
time. Like, is he gonna be a German guy? You're like, oh yeah, he's the diplomat. No, they go to war all the time. Or the English guy, the imperialists who ruled the world. He's gonna be the diplomat. No, you get the French guy, or the Canadian. But for some reason, the only
maybe.
Canadian.
Oh, we should YouTube to see if there is a French Star Trek fan who pretends to be a captain and see if it flies.
No, but I mean, like they always do that. Like Star Trek has always done.
Maybe
that,
there
like,
was no reason for them to cast an English person other than he's a fucking classically trained actor.
Star Trek has always had a problem with stereotypes. Like that was the whole point of the original series. It was a stereotype of every person on Earth on the Enterprise working
Yeah,
together.
it was done on
Like,
purpose.
yeah, it was done on purpose, and then as society grew, Star Trek has
You
held on
can't
to
do that anymore.
Well, you can do that, but they do it subtly with a Frenchman being the
Yeah.
diplomat. I think that's a conscious thing. It has to be. Why make him French? Like, Jean-Luc Picard is a cool name, but
So I threatened him, and then he asked me if I'd ever been to the Louvre.
yeah. I was gonna say, like, you could make him a Canadian to be the diplomat, but the only Canadian they ever openly say in Star Trek is the betrayer. Maquis,
Yeah.
Eddington.
Well, he takes a moral stand.
I think
against authority.
he's the biggest hero of Star Trek.
He really is.
Yeah.
Well,
they
from,
play him up as a
from his
bad
point
guy,
of view, he's like
from anyone's point of view, the Maquis are in the right from the very beginning. There is no gray area.
From the shitboat that he's in the entire time, he's like, how can you not understand that I don't have a choice to be where I am right now?
Yes, but I mean, the Federation should, like, that bullshit treaty of trading colonies and doing the border to, like, sacrificial... Screw that. Wipe out the goddamn Cardassians. Like, you know it's coming. You know you're gonna have to go to war with these people eventually. They're just poking you. Why make a peace treaty and give them anything? Just go for it. Like, there's a point where pacifism ends, and you have to go to war. Like, and a half-measure peace treaty is garbage. Like, I can understand that with the Romulans, because that's a serious threat. Yeah. But the Cardassians? Just put that animal down. Like...
Feed him to the Klingons.
You're to sacrifice thousands of your citizens on a border issue? Like, it's so stupid. Roll over and, like, that's...
And fighting for, like, the Badlands.
Oh, yeah. Like... Or actually wasting resources going after your own citizens for fighting for their land. That's what you're gonna do? You're gonna send starships after your own citizens? Fighting in shitty fighters to save their land? And you're like, where's the swastikas on your uniforms, guys? Like, what the hell?
We wrote contracts.
Yeah, we wrote treaties with our enemies. So, well, what about our rights? Like, what do you mean? We colonized that planet. We really worked hard to do that.
Yeah. I
It's
remember waking up here since day one.
You remember when this planet was just a rock with no oxygen? Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did this.
Look at these hands. Look at these hands right now.
My dad
Look
did
at your
it too.
hands.
Like, God damn it. And they shit on the guys constantly. Call them terrorists. Like, what?
They're in the middle of buttfuck nowhere.
You abandoned them in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. And then you judge how they fucking defend themselves? Fuck off. There's so many ways.
So you shot that alien? Yes.
Yeah.
He was a threat to you? Yes. Was there a court about it? No. Well, you need to have a court about it. No.
Yeah.
Oh shit, pirates. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh shit, pirates. We just created pirates. And it wouldn't surprise me if Section 31 didn't support the hell out of the Maquis.
Well, who else are you gonna get to do your fucking dirty work and keep their mouths shut?
No, well, I mean, the guys in Section 31 are like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Are you serious? We're making these trees? No.
They
Funnel
gotta clean up this
torpedoes
mess.
and fucking weapons and shit all to the border. Yeah, let's do this. It's the reason we exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can neither confirm nor
Yeah,
deny the existence.
Plausible deniability. Alright, so they gotta mention at some point how Moriarty is, like, significantly taking over parts of the computer, because he's like a physical representation of the computer at this point. That's struggling with trying to interpret the logic, the information.
It's pretty neat that it's like a pretty safe assumption that you can, if he calculates the weight and mass of the ship, he's like, well, it takes at least this much energy to get it moving, so it's got to have at least this much fucking power.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty clever.
And makes sense.
Yeah. And they're like, oh shit.
You think a humble man would dress up like a street urchin or something? But, like, Picard dresses up as, like, a
Upper
rich
class,
man.
yeah. I would definitely prefer to go unnoticed.
Yeah, blend.
Yeah. guess it's like the James Bond approach, though. You make a huge splash.
Oh, so he's doing this.
Well, it's probably him fucking poking around,
Yeah.
learning about.
He's changed. He said they're screwing around. He's screwing around with the programming. I thought he was just the computer was failing because of so much energy. But again, infinite memory apparently on the Enterprise. Holographic images. They've already started to flip flop.
Yeah. So Picard should be shitting his pants right now, being like, "Oh shit." There's got to be already an established protocol for when this happens.
Oh, I think the idea is this is a new thing.
Yeah.
Because the Excelsiors don't have this shit on them. This is probably the first starship with holodeck
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, this would have been on like planets only.
I would say it's like we said earlier. It's not even on planets. They don't need
Or
it.
star bases.
They're above that. Not even then. This is a new thing on
Yeah.
this because star bases are around planets most of the time. So you just beam down to the planet when you want to have recreation.
That's some pretty good shaking around there, bridge crew. Let's
Wait,
get
so
that.
he's just on standby in case he has to go in there, and he's all dressed up? Is that just so he can get Worf in a suit? Does he ever go onto the holodeck?
He just stands locked outside the whole episode. Guys! He just surrenders.
Yeah, that's again, like I said.
Introduce a gun. You
Yeah.
better fucking use it by the second act.
Yeah. This is weird. Again, safety protocols. Like I can't do crap to I can't go to a sketchy website without my computer saying, "Hey, you really want to do this?"
Yeah, I don't understand why communicate, like, other than power-wise, this thing is hooked up to...
And why they can't just say, erase Moriarty.
Yeah. Oh, I guess because it has to use the ship's computer.
But I mean, like, why have they lost control over the holodeck? Just unplug it. Like, just cut off the power
Well,
to it.
that was uncalled for.
Well, Jesus. Like, why is this an issue? Okay, wait.
See, here we go.
Transporter.
Yeah. Here we fucking go. Yeah, sigh, goddamn
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So it
Yeah,
is
I'm
matter.
with you.
You son of a bitch! God damn it! He has
So did
substance.
Did it just create a bag of meat standing
So
in
why
front of him
can't
right
he
now?
walk off the goddamn holodeck? Oh! He just says it. They wrote it, and nobody. God.
I don't know, you made a meat or not?
So why isn't Moriarty? No! It's the only definition!
Or am I?
How could you ever trust? Yeah. I'm not saying he's not a life form. I'm saying he's an untrustworthy life form. Okay, now he's gonna say he can't walk off the holodeck.
Holodeck makes a fucking accidentally okay version of Adolf Hitler. What
do you mean? You just said you can't turn holodeck matter into a holodeck, a matter of a more permanent form. It's matter.
Maybe there's like an in-between state that the holodecks can make.
That's what they're implying right now. That it's because it's holodeck replicated, transported in matter. It's different than real matter, which is hogwash.
So can it squish it or not?
Yeah, real or not real. Again, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Okay, so they're still in the holodeck, right? This is the double cross, and then it turns into a triple cross.
Yeah, basically. They're like, oh shit, he caught us.
Yeah.
We were totally pieces of shit. But you know, when you're the police or the government, that's exactly what you do. Of course you just fucking agree with whatever the fuck they want. You just get them in the end.
Oh wait, no, there is no double cross. That's the second episode.
That's what the other episodes are. That's right, they put it in the cube.
He just gives up here. He's just like, yeah, I trust you guys. That's how this episode ends.
Here's where they fuck him.
Yeah, and they just put him in the box.
Yeah. Here's where they fuck him right over. And then Genie gets out of the bottle.
This is Picard's war crime.
Right here. Oh yeah.
This is total war crime. I put a sentient being in a box and just left it there.
Yeah, a civil rights violation at the very least.
Oh yeah. We created life.
He's a military officer.
We created life, then we put said life in a box and left it there. Yeah, don't have to deal with him anymore.
Well, that was close. Back to sipping my fucking tea. It's like, good, I wanted to finish my ship.
The beginning of many bad Geordie holodeck mistakes. Man, he's Barkley before Barkley. They're like, we can't make Geordie keep on doing these stupid things in the holodeck. We gotta make another character.
Then he gets promoted. He doesn't have to be the Barkley anymore. Barkley has to be the Barkley. Barkley was Barkley before Barkley was lieutenant.
So is Victory Excelsior? We're gonna get to see her? Oh, it's a stargazer. Or what's that? Constellation, yeah. Whoa, that's an old ship for 2080, 21, 2480 something. Like we said, good episode, but god damn it, I hate the holodeck. Such garbage. Why do they do this to us? And they just forget about him. They're just, no. We're not going to talk about that anymore until the fans demand us bring him back. God damn it.
It's like they don't remember that writers can just write their way in and out of anything, really.
Well, and it's like they...
If you need to.
Hey, we have 32 episodes, guys. Before you write an episode, how about you watch them?
Yeah.
Like, maybe just binge in one night. Here are the tapes. We have them. Just watch them before you commit a whole hour and a half to our series. And screw everything up. God damn it. But thanks again for joining me, Dave. And thanks everybody for listening. And you guys have a good one.